Sissy shopping experience. I was idly browsing online one day, not really looking for anything in particular, and a new website was prompting me to check it out. It was a transformation shop, wondered what was all that about, so I opened the link. It had a pretty lady with a stunning pair of legs and a cute smile. What's not to like about that? When I opened it up and had a good look, I was very pleasantly intrigued and so wanted to look at least half decent as the lady on the website. It wasn't a woman, which at first glance I thought was, it was a guy. Wow. Amazing makeup and fantastic body and beautiful clothes, wig and heels. I wanted some of that, lol, so I took a brave step and called the phone number of the shop to speak to a member of staff. Gulp. I said, "Hello, I'm Sam," and the person on the other end of the phone said, "Hi, what's your fam name?" That threw me and I was slightly embarrassed, but it told my thought process that they wanted to make me feel relaxed as my female side, which was very special. My real name is Sam, which is a male or female name, but I prefer Samantha. So I nervously said, "Samantha." I must have not said it clear enough because they said, "Pardon dear," so I said in a clear and confident manner again, "Samantha," and they replied, "That's a lovely name, how may I help you today?" I was on my own outside a Publix in the morning sun, chilling in my running leggings and top, trainers with a cuppa, my local haunt on my days off. So I asked if I needed to make an appointment to come and see them in the near future. They said don't have to, just turn up early or in the afternoon and let's get started. What a super cool place, amazing. The week after I phoned, it was all I would think about, becoming a woman for a few hours or the whole day. It all depends on how much I had to spend on this new experience. As this was my first time going, I would only spend £200 for now, as I had to get there by train and find a hotel to stay at for a few days. I was off work for the week, so I decided to just take myself and my small backpack and essentials and catch a train early the next morning. I worked in a male-oriented environment, so no one there knew about me and what next step of my journey I had started to go on. I had dressed up years before, but this was different. It was in private and never went out or interacted with anyone. Now 8 years later, I wanted to take things further, but I had to go somewhere far away from work and the town I stayed in. I wanted to know how I looked honestly as a woman fully transformed. If I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, then I would totally stop and not take that next step of going out in public as a man dressed as a woman. Anyway, as I was on the train traveling the 90-minute trip, I was starting to get more anxious before I got there. To me, this was a massive step forward on my ultimate journey to my happiness. I took some deep breaths when the train stopped and walked the short distance to the shop, as it was only a few minutes walk from the station. Shame it closed down a few years ago, as it was a nice relaxing place. I got there but walked past super nervous, but quickly glanced into the window display. Amazing. I kept walking for about 5 minutes to try and calm down. I said to myself, look, you have come this far, so you might as well pluck up the courage and go in for a look and introduce yourself. So as my pulse was racing and my heart thumping, I walked back and stood outside the lovely place. It was like Aladdin's cave for people like us. I stood there for what felt like an eternity and then held my breath and opened the door and walked in. Once in, I was proud that no one approached me or bothered me, which I didn't want to happen. I felt a little at ease and started to look around, but things were there that I have never seen before or knew existed. I didn't want to touch anything. I just looked, never said anything or bothered anyone. I was still shy and nervous even though I had dressed before. However, this was totally different and I was out of my comfort zone. I looked around and saw some lovely cross-dressing books which I so wanted to buy and read and look at the pictures. So I picked up 2 and took them to the female staff, who were so lovely. The woman asked me if it was my first time dressing up. I told her no, I do it in private since I was young. It was my first time there and she knew that from how I acted, really quiet and shaky nervous. Then she asked me my name. I said I'm Sam, I phoned here last week and someone lovely spoke to me, so I had to come and visit. Then she asked me would I prefer to be called my fam name. I said yes, it's Samantha, with a nervous smile. The lady smiled back and said, "That's a lovely name and it made me feel super welcome."